Well, good morning, my friends. What is up? It's your friend and pal Seth. My pronouns are he and they. I want to welcome you into your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for the day. If we are keeping track of the number, and guess what we are, it is day number 68 of our morning inspiration, our morning inspiration videos. I still can't believe that. Been going strong for 68 days. Woo! It is so awesome. I love it. All right. So, I hope that you are doing well. You're making it the most fantastic day ever today. And if you find that you're needing just a little bit of a boost this morning, a little bit of some extra added motivation, I hope that this video serves to do that for you today. Okay. I hope it helps you to feel just a tiny little bit better for today. Maybe 1 to 3%. Let's stretch it to 4 or 5% better today. All right. So, with that being said, without further ado, let us get into our morning inspiration video. Hey, that rhymed. Let us get into our morning inspiration video. All right. So, inside of our video today, inside of your morning inspiration video for today, I'm going to be talking about what we are going to be discussing and learning about inside of our virtual community of practice that meets Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? Today is Monday. So, if you turn your attention down to the ticker on the bottom, we meet this morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So what are we actually going to be talking about? So for our group for today, it's our Tranquil Voices group. And our topic for today is light and inspiring things to consider. It's an interesting topic name. I really love it, actually. Sounds, when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I love that. Sounds interesting. So there we go. So our songs for today, we always listen to amazing songs for inspiration inside of all of our groups. And so for today, we have the song Home by Godwin, okay? And then we also have a song called Grow, Freestyle by Face Soul. Both songs incredible, okay? I highly advise listening to both of these songs or looking at the lyrics to both these songs. They are incredible, all right? So with that being said, what are we actually going to be talking about today inside of our group? So one of the first things we're going to be looking at is, what does trauma healing look like? Now, one of the things that we had talked about, kind of that I had been talking about over the weekend, as well as kind of last week, is how healing, health and wellness, all of that, it can look different for all of us. It is something that can really look different for literally all of us. Now, trauma healing can also look different for all of us as well. Okay. Yet it's interesting. Something with trauma healing, though, what does trauma healing look like? With this, inside of today's program, what we're going to be looking at is, what does trauma healing look like when it comes to our emotions? What does trauma healing look like when it comes to our brains? What does trauma healing look like when it comes to our relationships? What does trauma healing look like when it comes to pretty much anything? You know, our body, our nervous system, all of that. So we're going to be looking at how trauma healing comes up in our lives inside of each of these sectors, if you will. You know, when it comes to, you know, the mind, the body, the soul, our relationships, all of that. So it's going to be a really, really interesting. It's going to be a really, really interesting topic to look at for us today. All right. In addition to that, we're going to be talking about something called fighting versus feeling. And when I think of this, I think of avoidance versus acceptance. Now, when I say this, the first thing that immediately pops into my head when I think of avoidance versus acceptance or fighting versus feeling is our emotions. And that has become something that's been very pivotal for me inside of my life and inside of my own healing and wellness journey. Okay. So this whole concept of fighting something rather than feeling it or avoiding it versus actually accepting it. So we're going to be looking at, you know, how it looks like when we try and fight something. And we're also then going to be looking at how it looks when we actually accept it, and the advantages and the blessings and what we can learn from actually accepting a lot of these things, like our emotions. You know, so instead of maybe putting a judgment on our feelings and saying, oh, that's something I don't want, it's something automatically like, you know, whatever, you know, Just get it away from me. Instead, looking at it as, okay, so what is this feeling? What am I feeling? What are the sources of these feelings? You know, so again, that's just an example. So we're also really going to be taking a look at that today. And in addition to that, we're going to be looking also at ways to protect our energy. In other words, boundaries. That elusive, lovely B word. Sometimes I like that word, and sometimes boundaries, again, I'm only speaking from my experience, boundaries are easier for me. And sometimes it's like, no, thank you. They become really hard for me. So we're really going to be looking today at kind of ways to protect our energy. And this becomes really, really important because, finding ways to, self-advocate for ourselves is really, really important and really vital for all of us. So we're going to be looking at some powerful things today. All right, we're going to be looking at some powerful stuff today inside of our community of practice. What does trauma healing look like? The fighting versus feeling, or avoidance versus acceptance, and then ways to protect our energy and boundaries. In addition to that, some incredible quotes as well. So it is going to be a very, very powerful day. So if you would like to join us today inside of group, you can do one of three things. Okay, you can get with me down in the comments below here. Let me know. You can get with me on social media. Or if you got the link to this video via an email, what you can do if you already don't have the link, it's a Zoom link, what you can do is reply to the email and say, Seth, I want to come. I'll say, wunderbar, baby. Yes. So I can send you the free Zoom link and get you all signed up, and you can come and do whatever you want. If you want to engage with us, that's great. If you just want to just watch and listen, that is fine too. No obligation. All right. And again, these are all free. All right. So with that also being said, I also wanted to add inside of this video my own quote. As I said, we're going to be looking at quotes today, but I also wanted to add in another quote that I found that I really, really love, and kind of goes along with what we're going to be talking about today, especially the ways to protect our energy and boundaries. So with this quote, it says, always say, my peace is more important when you find yourself reacting to something that doesn't deserve your energy. Okay. So if there's something coming up, someone, says something to you, or that you're put in this situation where you just really don't want to be in it, and all it's doing is draining your energy, and it's like, you do whatever. Say to yourself, my peace is more important. And that right there is that boundary. Okay. And this quote is by Adil Ahmed. It's an incredible quote, and I think it also rings really true as well. All right. In addition to that, from the Wellness and Life Advice document by my friend, brother, and incredible mentor, Will, and a friend of his, Jen, under the heading of 23 eye-opening philosophies that can transform your life, our advice for today is, be open-minded. There's always room to learn, grow, and see a different perspective. Ain't that some deep sugar honey iced tea? Isn't that some deep shit? Some deep shiz. Okay, however you want to say it. Okay, that's really deep right there. All right. Be open-minded. There's always room to learn, grow, and see a different perspective. Boom. All right. So with that now also being said, did Seth complete his goal for yesterday? So if you watched my video for yesterday, you would know that my goal for yesterday was to kind of gear up for the week ahead, make sure everything is ready to go for the week. And today is Monday. So of course, yesterday was Sunday. So that was my goal, one of my goals for yesterday. And by gosh golly darn it, I got that done. I am ready for this incredible, amazing week coming up. All right. I'm ready for this. So what is my goal for today? I want to brainstorm some proposal topics for an event I was invited to speak at in late August. I actually just got the call that I was invited to actually come speak at this event. So I'm going to start brainstorming proposal topics today. And I'm really, really excited about it. All right. If you want to know more information about it, just let me know. Just ask. All right. So that'll about do it for your morning inspiration video for the day. I will say, don't quit before the miracle happens, my babies. Find ways to keep moving forward because you're amazing and you are worth it. All right. I will also say, stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused on your amazingly huge, big dreams and goals, my friends. All right. Thank you so much for watching your morning inspiration, your morning inspiration video for today. And I will see you, my baby. Ooh, you cutie. I will see you in the morning inspiration video for tomorrow.